Hello everyone. Ìwọ ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń gbọ́ mi ní lóko àti lẹ́yìn òde ni mo bá ní gbólóhùn kan pàtó lónìí. And we're talking about idol worshiping, most times in the very wrong narrative by the world. We Yoruba folks are called idol worshipper, or every single one of us who embrace African spirituality, we are being tagged as idol worshipper. Call us pagan, we are cool, but when you call us idol worshipper, that is an abuse to what we stand for. Who is an idol worshipper? An idol worshipper is one who cut down a tree or make some things up that is part of the element of nature and then go down to bow his head to it. First thing first, you must know that it is very wrong for you to abuse the power that your head carries, because this is your creator and this is the greatest of all the Orisha. Does it make sense to bow the greatest of all Orisha to another kind of Orisha? It doesn't, right? Thank you. Now, cutting down trees and decorating them in the ancient world is a way of us expressing the idea, ideology, and also the concept we have in our mind before the invention of paper and ink. We use carving of trees and creating monumental structures and also creatures that is creeping or flying in this universe to express our mind. For example, when we carve the image of a serpent, we are talking about wisdom in its prime. When we carve the image of an eagle, we are talking about speed and flight. When we carve the image of a dog, we are talking about ability to see the unseen in our area. We do not have a means of writing on paper with ink, so we express these things by carving images to express ourselves. And this is what they saw, and they felt we worship these things. The concept of bowing down to a graven image came from the European folks when they brought their Jesus into our midst. The concept of bowing down to a certain God in the sky came from the Islamic folks when they brought their Allah into our midst. We never used to bow down to anything, and I don't think we should continue to bow down to anything. Bá a bá níbejì láàrin wa, bí kan nú àwọn ìbejì ọ̀hún bá kú, a máa gbẹ́gi lérí láti lè fi rọ́pò èyí tó ti kú ọ̀hún, so the other one doesn't miss a second so much. Aside from that, before the invention of photography and pictures, we used to carve images of our persons who are living in diaspora as a way to maintain communication with their head. If we have aseje, a kind of vaccine we want to give to them, we make this vaccine in believing that when we feed this figurine with the vaccine, it will take effect on our family member, well-wisher, our clients who live in diaspora. There is no image of Shango that has been carved or to be worshipped. There is never an image of Ogun that has been carved or to be worshipped. And if you go to anybody who worship Yemoja or Shun and the rest of them, and they give you a certain image to bow down to, then you know that they are worshiping a myth. All these people used to be human beings just like you, just like me, who maximize their potential while alive, discover so many scientific things on how to make use of water, how to make use of metal, how to make use of thunder, how to make use of electricity, and all those things. And so because of that, people pattern their life after these folks, wanting to do what they did and even much more than they. We don't bow to them. We pour veneration to them. We don't worship them. We learn from them. We don't follow them like that. We emulate their way of life and activate the energy of the nature that works for them in our life. So as one who embraces African spirituality and as a Yoruba person, never you be afraid or ashamed to practice your divinity. And don't you ever stoop low to bow this head, which is the most powerful Orisha alive, to anybody. Because you are the Orisha. You are the God you are looking for. And making a graven image from a tree or any sort of element of nature to bow to it is further bastardizing the whole essence of you as a God. I come to you bearing peace and glad tidings today to correct the notion in our African spirituality. We never used to bow to anything. You might have seen them in the village doing this. You might have seen them in the movie doing this. That does not truly define who we are. We have this concept in our mind that Ogun came ahead of all other deity, and because of his wealth that spread across the world, and the first of all the Orisha, we should be the first and not the last. And because everything he lays hands on prosper, he wins victory against every war and battle. And when we venerate to Ogun, we do not say, Ogun, we worship you. We say the power that works in Ogun should work in us. We do not worship Shango by saying, okay, you are the Lord and Savior of our life. Like the Christians will worship their Jesus, or the Muslim will bow to their Allah. We say the concept of amassing the electrons in the cloud and thunder, we want to also be able to make use of that scientific knowledge and to be able to have so many invention and innovation like Shango did. We understand the power that waters carry, and so we don't worship Yemoja. We activate the power of the water for us. But because Yemoja, Oba, Oshun, and the rest of them were the first to discover this, we pay homage to them and pour veneration to them as a sign of respecting those who came before us and those who did it before we did it. My name is Baba Yoba, and you can do well to follow me on all social media. Just search for Baba Yoba. I'm here to correct the bad notion against African spirituality. Because if you must worship a God, if you must embrace any kind of spirituality, you must worship a God that looks like you and embrace the spirituality that your ancestors handed over to you. A ò ní rógbógun lóko, a ò ní ṣorí burúkú, a ò ní bá wọn lọ sódò láì pọnmi wálé. Ire o.